How's it going, everybody? Raising Hell here, and today I'm playing a game called Lost in the Woods 2. Now, you know we're probably in for a bad time when there is no Lost in the Woods game that preceded this one. So, a little bit dubious about this, obviously. I have played it, and just as a warning for foreshadowing, it's not very good. But here we are at the new game. They do make you go through a lot of different dialogues. So you do a new game, and you say, do you really want to start a new game? Now, there's really no downside to saying no, because it just takes you back to the main menu. And all the saving in this game has to be done manually, so you're not going to lose anything. So that's just a pointless screen. They have to make you tab through there. Then you can choose between two scenarios, summer or winter. Supposedly, summer is the easier of the two. It doesn't really matter because they're both ridiculously hard to somebody who just enters the game without any context of really what's going on. Now, this is the beginning. This is the story. Interestingly enough, it really does not follow the Steam store page. The game, it says you wake up alone. And I'm not sure that's true because this is a randomly generated map, and once I ran into another person in this woods. Now, this is a single-player game, obviously, and the objective of it is to essentially find a way out of this woods. So in this woods, there are several of these monuments. Like right over here, you can see where my cursor is on the left side of the screen. They are locked up, and to unlock them, you have to go to your recipes, and you have to craft keys to unlock them. I don't know what happens once you get out, because just staying alive in this world is rather ridiculous. There seem to be some real serious balance issues. For example, you can take a look here at the different resources that I have. I have a bottle of water and 2 cans of fish. That's what I start with as food. The bottle of water is good for about 10 water. And as you can see, just in the time I've been playing this and talking here, so about 1 minute at most, I've used up about 5% of my water already. So obviously, filling up the bottle is pretty much just a waste of your time because it doesn't carry much water. If you do want to take a drink, though, you can just jump in the water right here. And you have to use hotkeys there. You got a good swig. You will see this supposed tutorial pop up from time to time. It is not very useful because it gives you all in one. It gives you everything you need to know. Not really. It gives you everything they're willing to throw at you in one shot. So as somebody who is not familiar with the game, you are not going to really know what any of it means until you've played the game and lost a couple of times. Now here we're doing the classic Minecraft thing where you hit your hand against trees and stones that magically breaks up and turns into resources for your inventory. Supposedly, you can craft a good deal of stuff. Unfortunately, there are no tooltips over any of the crafting recipes, as I opened that up once before. So I don't really know what I actually need to craft anything. And when I'm looking at them, the game does not pause. So you can literally die in the interim while you're just looking at crafting menus. So it's a lot of picture matching going on here. You're going to have to match pictures. I'm not even sure I can cut that down with my hand. You're going to have to match pictures in the crafting menu against the items you have in your inventory in the lower right corner. Now, right there, I cut down some logs. Interestingly enough, I have no idea what this area, there's like a taskbar right in the middle. I don't know what it does. I've never been really able to figure it out, except when you walk into the water thing lights up. See? It's not like you can click on it or anything like that to actually avoid having to use the hotkeys for stuff like sleeping or taking a drink of water. Now, the premise behind this is you wake up in woods, and that's it. Really, it's there's no more depth to the story than that. I think it does mention that you are alone, and as I sort of pointed out before, I rolled one of these randomly generated maps where there was another player just hanging around, so obviously not always alone in the woods. Lost in Woods 2. Now, the developer behind this game is a little bit interesting because they appear to be more of a publishing company of sorts. And if you look at their past history of what they've been up to, they have pushed a lot of crummy games onto Steam Greenlight. So it makes it look like they are involved in some sort of voting system, some sort of system where you can actually get votes if you publish your game with them. Now, the actual publisher, the actual developer of this, I doubt is the publisher, but it's quite possible. They have about 6 other games, at least, and some of them, one of them, the most popular one, I looked at their YouTube page, and it happens to be a trailer for a game that looks like a bad ripoff of Hotline Miami. It has just everything about Hotline Miami, and you could say this stuff in here looks a bit like it's ripped off of Terraria, which is possible. I don't think any of the assets line up, but it is possible that some of these assets were borrowed. You'll notice if you listen to the sounds, the game soundtrack long enough, that the sound looping is quite imperfect. You'll actually be able to hear when the sound of the wind, runs out and has to start playing again. So in other words, when it reaches the end of its normal track, it has to, sort of restart the sound of the wind playing. You can actually attack animals. It shows a little sword there. You can just club at. Some of them let you just club them to death, and the other ones, they'll attack you quite ferociously. Apparently, these little cats, or these little bobcats, whatever they are, they will let you attack them without attacking back. But the moose are quite defensive of their territory and their personal space, really. I have not actually done anything with these little beavers with the horns. I'm not sure if they attack you or not. Might as well take a look at it. My food is down to 60 already. They're pretty fast. Another thing you'll notice about this, you'll take damage if you get too close to them. One thing you'll notice is that you are very slow in this game. I think you're ridiculously slow. If I was doing this, I would have sped up the game by about 50% in terms of the player's walking speed. It's kind of ridiculously slow. You're just plodding along like this. And I think one of the biggest challenges is just going to keep yourself alive, never mind actually progressing, because the food values in this game are abysmally low, which, it calls into question the actual amount of balancing that went into designing this game. Now, the reason, some people might ask, well, why do you cover games like this? The concept interests me. When I took a look at the game on the Steam store, it looked like something I'd be interested in playing if it was fully realized, if it was a fleshed out game. I like games like Don't Starve, and this was sort of in that same category. And also, I think I should point out, there was a guy shooting at me. It's a tree. He's shooting at me, knocked my health down to 87. The fog of war, you'll know it, whatever you want to call that fog stuff, it just hovers like a blanket above the top of your screen, and just it's a little bit distracting because it's just so poorly done. It's just the picture. It's a raster image just tacked to the top of your screen there that apparently chops off trees and whatnot as you move along. But another thing about this and why I think it should be covered is because these games don't exist in a vacuum either. I saw somebody mention, I think it was in the Steam discussions for this game, that it was recently featured in an Indie Gala bundle, I believe it was. It was one of those bundle sites where they stick a whole bunch of games together and you can buy them for a cheaper price because of that. But, so this developer, they even brag about it on their developer page. They've been working with these bundle sites to provide bundles, to provide their games to players at a cheaper price. The game is only about $3, but when you're buying it in a bundle, you can get it for like 33 cents. And that is actually not a bad thing. Now, this ghost is attacking me. I somehow spawned it. Getting it for 33 cents is not necessarily a bad thing, and therein lies the rub, I guess you could say. A lot of what these games are doing, the idea behind it is to play the economy of these games, because they come with Steam trading cards. Those wolves are very annoying. The balance from is off, but all these Steam games nowadays, they come with Steam trading cards, come with the emoticons, so they can sell it for 33 cents. They know that players will buy it with the intention of farming all the cards off of it and then selling those cards for a profit. So you buy the game for 33 cents, but then you're obviously going to be selling it for the cards on it for $1.50 maybe. So right there's your profit. And they figured it out. And so that's why they keep pushing games like this that are not very good at all. And it's a shame, really, because this could have been a good game. I thought it showed some promise, a bit more promise than a lot of the stuff that is peddled with the intent of just essentially soliciting purchases based on the Steam trading cards it's going to drop. Now, as you can see, if you've been paying attention, it's now night out, and all my meters have fallen to 0 except for my food. So that's how long it takes for you to just run out of everything. Run out of your health for sleeping, your temperature is down to 0, my water's down to 0, my food is down to 0, and now you can see my health is starting to fall. How you do, and the animals are just obnoxious, really. How you do some crafting here is, I can eat some pumpkins. Here we go. I ate all my pumpkins. I'm down to 3 health. I mean, 3 food. Here, let's drink the water. Gave me 10 water. It's 10%. As you can see, there's no point in filling up your water jug. You're supposed to be able to, right now I'm just drinking out of this pond. You're supposed to be able to craft a fire. I've done this. I have, looked at the recipes. I have went and got the stones and the flint and crafted it into a little flint flicker thing. And I can't set anything on fire with it. It's just so utterly broken. And you would think that if you had done this once before already as a game, Lost in the Woods 2, this game is called, just so you don't forget. That sort of implies there is a Lost in the Woods 1 somewhere that never sort of saw the light of day. Like I said, it does not reflect well on the developer learning their past mistakes if they really couldn't even get this one worthy of shipping. You can't play it. It's just so unbalanced and vague, impossibly vague. It would almost be a challenge. Like some people are the people who play Meat Boy as enthusiasts and do speedruns of it. They should play this game because it would be that same sort of challenge just to figure out how it is played, and if you can overcome the poor balancing in it and actually manage to win, because there is the ability to win the game. It's not going to be impossible. Theoretically, you can open up these little portals once you've crafted the keys and get out of here. So it might appeal to that demographic, interestingly enough, just being so bad that it's artificially challenging, artificially really hard to play. But overall, unfortunately, I have to report that this game is a complete waste of your time if you're anything like me. And the only reason to buy it at the moment, as far as I can tell, is if it's on sale and you can actually farm it for the Steam trading cards and then sell those for a profit, or you're actually interested in trying to figure out maybe being the only person in the world who actually beat the game. There you can see I'm dead now, and that is as it should be. Now we can exit this and never speak of it again. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.